Hey guys, you got some more from Zo. It's KZ from Cape Town. How you doing? Still on one of my favorite setups, Project Sub-Ohm Triad with the Tokugawa. Ish. Vaping some chocolate I am trying to make. Yeah. Now the next atomizer which I'm going to review is the third one in this series of the sponsored gear from my patrons. And this one, I am fortunate enough to say I enjoyed. Now the reason why I'm only doing this review now is because I was using this guy for a week. Believe it or not, Kaiser has used an RTA for a week. Yes. And this is what the little guy is. It is called the TAUREN Beest RTA by ThunderHead Creations. And I think it's a very nice looking RTA, as what you would see. 24mm stainless steel. You get it in a wide variety of colors as well. You can up it from a 2ml to a 4.5ml using the bubble glass that's been provided. Nice PC. I enjoy the fact that polycarbonate is making a lot of more appearances. I'm a big fan of PC polycarbonate, but it's frosted. So if you don't like all these paraphernalia which has been printed on the atomizer, that frosted glass is going to reduce some of it for you. And yeah, wonderful. I enjoy it. It is not your typical RTA which is going to give you a lot of airflow. This guy gives me enough airflow for the way which I enjoy it. I really like it. It's slightly restricted, but it's because of the internal honeycomb holes which you're going to see, which produces or is going to allow the air to actually hit the coils. Now you can do a large single coil build on this 3.5-4mm diameter coil. You can go ballistic. In my case, I was running it for a week with 2.5mm aliens, but today for the special build I cleaned it out. I'm going to put in 3mm diameter aliens. Velvety little bag, very huge little dust magnet, but I love this presentation. So on this you've got a little keychain which is going to indicate the color for you as well. When you open up this little baggie, you're going to get 3 different items on the inside. You're first of all going to get this, which is absolutely awesome. Inside here is the atomizer, obviously. Booklet baggie combo with all the grub screws, 4 additional grub screws, O-rings to your heart's desire for every possible part. You get a lot of O-rings, okay, and then a little manual to show you how to do this thing. And then you get this little frosted PC little bubble glass, and this is the guy which I will be using, because what this does is this converts the atomizer from a normal 2ml capacity to actually a 4.5ml capacity. Just grab hold at the bottom and turn. Very nice threading. This is a zinc alloy, and then just look at that. Just look at that. Now ain't this a fantastic presentation? So who's going to tell me that this is not a nice looking RTA? Okay, there are going to be some people who that all this printing and etching might be a problem with, but I like the font. So on the underside you can see some info, but I mean what is a nice touch is this guy also doubles for a ATI stand. So yeah, so you can use this little guy to do your build on. Okay, a few features of this little guy. If you have a look at it, airflow does lock in place. Okay, so you can either close it totally or you can leave it open totally. 2 airflow slits at the bottom, nice wide airflow slits. You've got some very nice knurling, which increases the grip a lot. Nice 810 drip tip. I like this little guy. You can use your own, but just remember you got to use which has got this low profile at the bottom. Then drip tips will work there. Okay, if it's fairly shallow, it's got an O-ring on the inside. If you open up this little guy at the top, you'll see got huge juice fill ports. Amazing, very nice, nice and big. If you want to check out the machining on that cap, looks very good. It's got very fine threading. So one thing I've already noticed is that you got to be careful when you put on this top. I mean, it does screw in, but so that you don't damage it, you must make sure that it actually clicks in place before you turn it. It's very fine threading. Okay, you have been warned. You can just check there, it's fine threading. Anywho, you can also remove this portion with the chimney, the outer barrel and the chimney, and then you just give it a little pushy over there, and there you remove this glass. As I said, with this glass you're going to have a 2 milliliter capacity. But yeah, very nice and clean machining. These threads work very smoothly. I haven't had any issues with those threads on the inside. So you've got your O-ring over there. All you do is just put that little guy on, and you can actually see how nicely it fits. Easy as pie. And there's our bull deck. Now in this little bugger I will be putting 2 3mm diameter coils. So these are the little buggers I will be putting in. They're 3mm coils. Okay, if you look very closely, you can see they're actually 326s, 326 gauge wrapped with 36 gauge. This little guy has got true honeycomb little airflow slits. A lot of the times the people say honeycomb and then it's just a lot of round holes close to one another. PEEK insulation running there, making these two little guys your positives, where you're going to put in your positive legs, and those little guys your negatives. As I can see, it's a nice little bull deck over there. So 3.54 millimeter diameter coil, nice huge one. 2 2.5s or 2 3s. Wonderful, more than enough spacing. Wick will actually go down on those sides. If you turn it on the side, you will see there's your 2 little grub screws, Allen key grub screws, and they do provide an Allen key for it as well inside the little bag, but I will be using this little tri-tool Allen key. Nice clean threading on those side. This little airflow ring actually can come off and also hold in place with this O-ring, and if you look nice and carefully, there you will see a little protrusion, and that little protrusion over there, that is going to allow you to actually lock your airflow, to completely open it or close it. With it back on, all the way open, all the way closed. Nice knurling, nice grip. Fat beefy rubber O-ring at the bottom. This guy looks very well machined. It's a very nice looking RTA. Okay, at the bottom, very shallowly etched. But I like this fact that it is, you can use a flathead, but it doesn't go through the whole time. It's not going to slip out. That's very nice. So I just quickly want to show you, if you remove this little 510, just be careful, because you will be, the PEEK insulation might be coming out as well. So just keep this little guy intact. And then what's happening, just quickly press this guy out. Then you're removing this little deck. You can also remove that PEEK insulation. There you go. So if you want to clean out this guy nice and thoroughly, it goes back very easily. Then just place it back. It's easy as pie. No fuss. No fuss. And when you screw in the 510 again, just remember, make sure your PEEK insulation is there. There you go. Nicely neat in place. I think this is a very wonderful designed RTA. Okay, you're just going to take your Allen key and enter there where the juice is going to enter, and then we're just going to loosen our little grub screws. this guy a bash. It's airflow wide open. Let's take the airflow down halfway. Okay. Now what I have noticed in the week which I've been using it, if you keep your atomizer on, your airflow is fairly difficult to adjust. So what I do is I normally just loosen my atomizer slightly, and then I will do my airflow adjustment, and then it's easy. Do it. Wide open is the best. Definitely. That's the way I prefer it. Wide open for me. Thank you very much. Okay, so it is restrictive. It's more restrictive than most of the RTAs which I used, but I mean it's because of those inner small honeycomb holes. Okay, you can always take, if you like a bit more airflow, you can always take your Dremel and just slice through a row of those little honeycombs, making it one nice big slit at the bottom or either at the top. I would go for the bottom though, so you can bring out those bottom particles up a lot quicker. But yeah, what are my thoughts on this tank? I think it's an extremely nice RTA. I really like it though. It's got a 0.1 ohm build in it currently, so I mean it can handle those larger coil builds, which is nice. Just got to trim your wicks. You actually saw me take down my cotton right to the bottom. I know there's a lot of guys which feel that your cotton must just be there on the edge. You must just not see your cotton, but I've got no problem. I mean, I've done this in a lot of RTAs where I actually take my cotton right to the bottom. Then at least I know that all the juice which is right at the bottom of this tank is always also going to be drawn up by that cotton, and no residue juice is going to stay behind in the tank. And I mean, this guy gives me bubbles like nothing, I tell you. I like the airflow. I like that more restricted airflow. I'm not heavily into my clouds, so this is perfect for me. This is perfect. It's not the highest RTA. I mean, you saw with a normal tank it only gives you about 2 milliliters of juice. So that's why putting on this PC frosted bubble glass, it gives you that extra 2.5 milliliters, which is perfect for me because I don't like an RTA which is too high. This is stunning. The chimney portion perfectly accommodates those builds very nicely, and nothing is touching nowhere. And I mean, there's not a lot I don't like, put it that way. I love the look of this guy, even though as I said, there's Turin, there's Beest RTA on this, there's ThunderHead Creations on the drip tip. The thing is, it's nice and I like the font of it, so it doesn't bother me. I think it looks cool. I like the knurling at the top, I like the knurling at the bottom. As I said, the fact that you just have to loosen your RTA to adjust your airflow, that is on mine. Maybe yours doesn't do that though. But I mean, it's very hard for me to adjust it now. As soon as I loosen this RTA, then it's very easy, and then I just gotta tighten it again. It's got very, very good flavor. Very good flavor. Drip tip, luckily I enjoy this drip tip. Okay, I'm an Ultim, I've got no problem with Ultim, so I really like this drip tip. But as I said, if you want to put on your own drip tips, just make sure that you've got the short profile at the bottom. So if you take a normal drip tip, say for instance this little guy, you're going to have that little section where you find that spaciness, okay, where it's not flush on your atomizer. So if that's a problem for some of you, so be it. But I mean, I'm enjoying this guy. I'm really loving this flavor, and this guy wicks like a dream. I mean, all the bubbles coming up after each intake. 100 smackaroocies. Bubbles, 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 bubbles. Ish. And 70 watts. There you go. There you go. That's the spot. So yeah, this guy definitely builds nice. Some of you guys might have a problem because you've got your slits running across, and your flat side of your legs is going to be down like this. Some guys might have a problem or say that it's twisting your legs. I didn't find that issue. As I said, I put in 2 nice big bolts. You saw that there, and entered the grub screws, and the coil maintained its shape. Yes, at the bottom it's going to twist it automatically, but it didn't give me any issues. I mean, it was fine. So building for me was very easy. Wicking for me was very easy. As I said, the only issues which you could have, you might not like the amount of paraphernalia, you might not like the fact that this 810 drip tip has got a low profile at the bottom, and you might not like this threading of this little top cap which might be a bit of an issue for some people. But as I said, just be careful when you put it on. Doesn't always give you an issue, but mine does. So I'm very careful as not to hurt or to damage my threading in any way. Just look at where the juice capacity is already lying. So this is a thirsty little bugger. It's a thirsty little bugger. It's like a sailor that's been at sea for 3 months. I like the machining of this guy. I love the look of this RTA. I think this guy looks the bomb. When I saw it, I just had to get it. And one thing I'm definitely going to get a pro for, which I don't often give a pro for, is the packaging. Oh my word, the fact that you get this little metal casing, the zinc alloy casing, and you can use this bottom portion as a atty stand. That's just phenomenal. And then included in that, you get this little velvety bag with this additional little key ring, which you can put some info on there, your dog's name or whatever, and hang it around his collar. That's just sweet bananas. Okay, some people might say, would it be nice if they would actually include cotton? Would be nice if they would include coils. But these coils which they often include is not that great quality in any case though, so it doesn't bother me. This tank comes in anything between $35 to $40 on different sites. Most I've seen it for is about $38, where the most sites actually advertise it. But I got mine from Hot eSeek. I will post a link in the description as well. Guys, if you don't get good flavor out of this thing, there's something wrong with your coils. So I just want to thank Josh Roman. As I said, I'm blessed to actually have good coils, be sent good coils from guys like Derek Van Sale, TKO, and Coiled by Josh Roman. Very good coils. So yeah, spoil yourself with a pair of decent coils which you're going to know is going to last a long time. And in case you're wondering why I did not preheat, or why I did not even out the glow of those coils, what Josh does is he preheats the coils for you. So when you receive them, it's just zap, smiley, smiley. I just want to thank my new patron that actually joined, Thanos Salvatore. Really appreciate the contributions and welcome aboard. Always nice to have you guys. Have a good weekend, Sunday evening. This is Kaiser signing over now. Cheers.